Every day, there are incredible preparedness deals floating around the internet, but who has time to dig through dozens of websites to find them? That's why we created PrepperFinds.com, your one-stop site for the best prepper deals online. Our team scans the web, finds the biggest discounts on survival gear, food storage, water filters, radios, and more, and posts them in one easy place. No more wasting hours searching or missing out on limited time sales. At PrepperFinds.com, you'll see the best deals every single day, so you can save money while stocking up on what really matters. Check it out today at PrepperFinds.com. Bookmark it, visit daily, and never miss a deal that could keep your family prepared. That's PrepperFinds.com, where smart preppers shop.
Survive, thrive, stay alive. It's time to get prepared with the Prepping Academy podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Grid Down Comms Up. This is Patrick. I am your host. Today, we are going to be discussing some prepper gifts for the holidays. It is that time of year. The lights are going up. There's a chill in the air. Christmas is on its way. People are looking for gifts to buy. And I thought we would do another episode where we talk about some gift ideas for preppers. Hope everyone is having a wonderful and festive season this year as we head into the end of 2025 and head into what may be a very, very bumpy 2026 with lots of civil unrest, lots of chaos, and who knows, maybe even World War III. So everybody out there, get your Christmas shopping done ahead of the chaos. We have some ideas, and this year I'm not doing gifts that have price limits on them. We're going to do gifts that could be anything from maybe a really expensive gift you would get your spouse all the way down to something that you might get your coworkers or your prepping friends at the range or whatever else you might want to do. Number one, and these are in no specific order by any means. It's just the order I wrote them down in. So number one, books. There are lots of great prepping books, and I'm not going to pick any specifics out, but there are lots of good prepping books, and prepping books and things to learn and read are never a bad choice for Christmas gifts. They're wonderful books on gardening, outdoor survival, you name it. There are good books in the prepping space. I encourage you guys to look around, pick some good stuff, and prepper fiction. Also, good choice for the fiction lover that you have in the family that wants a little dystopia brought to their reading life. Books are always a good choice. Next up, a quality flashlight. Now, there's probably a lot of debate on what a quality flashlight is. I know I could make arguments on that one for sure. But you can get a good flashlight for a reasonable price of around $20, all the way up to spending hundreds of dollars on a lighting instrument, as the manufacturers like to call them when they get that expensive. I really, really recommend, if you're looking for something mid-range price, Streamlight, particularly like their HLX series. Uses a rechargeable 18650. Provides a ton of illumination in a rugged package that is not going to let you down in a pinch. I've gone through a lot of Chinese lights and a lot of other things over the years, and I keep coming back to Streamlight and Surefire. Flashlights, hard to go wrong. You can never have too many flashlights. Spoken like a true flashlight geek, right? You guys know those guys that hang out on Candle Power forums and do all that kind of stuff. Next up, a radio. If you've listened to me for any amount of time, you know I talk a lot about communications. I mean, hey, that's even in the name of the channel. It's Grid Down Comms Up. Maybe not everybody's a radio operator, not everybody's in that space, not everybody's interested in that. Everybody needs a good AM/FM shortwave radio. The Seacrane Skywave SSB, that's Sierra Sierra Bravo for single sideband, is probably one of the best portable-ish. It's not like teeny like some of the little pocket portable radios, but it's, the size of a cigar box. Is one of the best portable receivers out there. Get you your AM broadcast, your FM broadcast, your shortwave broadcasts, but it can also tune in single sideband signals so you can listen to amateur radio, listen to military traffic, listen to all kinds of stuff. They're a great radio. If you're on a little bit more of a budget than what that allows, the Texan PL880, another great shortwave AM FM radio. Certainly worth taking a peek at. And if you're after something even a bit smaller, I think it's the Texan PL360 or something like that. CountyCom sells them as the GP7, I think it is, SSB. Those are great little pocket radios. Those are in the $200 to under $100 range. Great solution because when something happens, finding out what's going on is a critical part of that, and having a radio to listen to that runs off batteries is essential for that situation. Next. Now, this is one you're probably not going to buy for your neighbor or your coworker or your prepper group buddy or your range buddy. This is one of those things that ladies, okay, listen up. This is something you might want to get your husband, okay? If you've been through any kind of natural disaster, you know you need a chainsaw. If you don't have a chainsaw, chainsaws make great Christmas presents, okay? And we're not talking about Home Depot chainsaws. We don't want a chainsaw that when Hurricane, whatever its name is next time around, Hurricane Hillary, we'll call it Hurricane Hillary for this episode. I like that. When Hurricane Hillary comes crashing into your AO, you don't want a chainsaw that's designed to run for 2 or 3 hours a year. You want a chainsaw that's going to be able to survive running every day for 8 hours a day while you're cleaning all the trees that fell over on your property. Now, obviously, if you live in the desert in New Mexico, maybe this isn't the best gift. But if you're like me and you live in Appalachistan, or you live anywhere else that we have these big wooden tall things called trees, having a way to remove those when they fall down and go boom is important. Good chainsaw. I highly recommend for those that are looking for a saw, something in the mid 60 cc range up into the 70 cc range. I know that probably sounds big to a lot of you guys that grew up using 40 and 45 cc saws, but when you're doing heavy work and you're doing hard work, having a saw with a little displacement is it's nice. You'll get used to it. It's worth the wait. Let me tell you. So, if you're out shopping looking for that, pro saws, it's a lifetime investment, guys, for most of us. If you're running it 8 hours a day every day, that's different. You're going to wear it out in 3-4 years maybe. But for those of us that don't do that, cut 4 or 5 cords of firewood a year, that kind of thing, buying a pro saw will last us for probably the rest of our life. Looking at steel MS 400s, 462s. If you really want to spring for a nice saw, a 500i. If you're more of the Husqvarna type, 562, 572. Always those are great saws. So figure you're going to spend about $1,000, a little over $1,000 on a saw. That is going to last you for a long, long time. All right. So that's another great Christmas present if you want to bust the bank and that kind of thing. Next up is a water filter. All right. We got to have water to live. We got to drink water every day. One of those things like death and taxes. We got to have water. I don't have a particular water filter brand that I love at the moment. I'm just going to be honest. I used to use Berkey. The current status of Berkey is up in the air, so I don't really know what to recommend, but some sort of gravity water filter, always a great choice. I know there's Pro One and a bunch of other manufacturers out there. Do your research, decide what you want to get, and make an informed decision. But a good gravity water filter for the homestead, always a great choice. If you want a backpack water filter for your bug out bag, now the Life Straw is a good entry choice, but man, those things are no fun to use. So, a good Sawyer or a Katadyn, or I think that's how you pronounce it. I always mispronounce the name of that one. So if somebody out there's laughing, going, hey, you're pronouncing it wrong, I know. So good water filter. Get something. You got to have clean water. Nobody wants Montezuma's revenge when the grid is down, and you don't have a great way to solve that. So Giardia, Cryptosporum, none of those things are any fun. You want to give someone the blessing of clean water, get them a water filter. And even today, when the grid is up, I just changed my water filters at home last Friday. And the pre-filter, just the sediment filter out of my reverse osmosis filter, had at least 1/8 of an inch of mud all over the outside of it. And that was just from a little less than a year's worth of filtering my drinking water. It is amazing the crud that comes through your water. Water filters, always a good pick for a prepping gift. If you're looking for something maybe for your spouse, something to put in the car, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. A lot of people are worried about getting trapped in a car. They run out of the road, end up in a creek or something like that. There's lots of stories out there of people who didn't survive because they got trapped in a car. Got to have a way to break a window. And man, is the prepping and automotive world full of gimmicky junk that are hammers and all kinds of crap to break windows with. Tell you guys, the best solution I've seen for breaking a window is a machinist's spring-loaded center punch, like the ones made by Starrett or something like that. You just push the tip against the window, and you push in on it, and there's a spring that compresses, and when the spring's fully compressed, it trips a trigger, and it smacks that punch hard enough to make a starting point for a drill bit in steel, and it will make that window shatter instantly. You don't have to have room to swing a hammer. You don't have to have any of that stuff. You just pick it up and push it against the window, and kablooey, off it goes. So, those are great solutions. You drop one in the glove box, or stick one in the center console or wherever. Great choice for vehicle evacuation. Next up, one of my favorite things, and this is something, you don't have to be a prepper to enjoy this. This is something that you can get your dad, who maybe isn't really that much of a prepper. Anybody that appreciates really well-made stuff. Space pens. The original space pens. They are one of the finest, nicest writing implements. They have them that are like bare brass. They have ones that are now Cerakoted. They have them that are chrome. They're just beautiful pens, and they write so well, and they feel so good in the hand. And they're between $20 and $40, depending on what you get. Worth every penny. Great writing implement. Pair one of those with a Write in the Rain tablet, or a Write in the Rain spiral notebook, or the little memo pads, and you got something great to put in your bug out bag. Because how many of us every day, we take notes on our cell phone. We take notes on our electronic devices. Well, if the grid's down and you don't have a way to charge your cell phone, or maybe you don't want to waste your battery to punch notes in your cell phone, do what we did 10, 20 years ago. Write it down. I mean, when did people quit using writing implements and notepads? This is kind of sad. Write in the Rain tablet, or Write in the Rain memo pad, and a nice ink pen. Great Christmas gift. Great stocking stuffer. Another great stocking stuffer that you can add to the list of stuff. Socks. Everybody makes jokes about this. What'd you get for Christmas? If you're 50-year-old dad here, what'd you get for Christmas? Oh, I got socks. Okay. Everybody makes jokes about, socks, terrible Christmas gift. It's what they get when you get old. Well, yeah, if you're getting cotton Hanes athletic socks or Fruit of the Loom athletic socks from Walmart, That's pretty lame, okay? Wool. When it comes to being outdoors, comes to being a prepper, comes to emergency stuff, wool socks are where it's at. Wool is great. So, the Smart Wool, the Darn Tough, Camel City. There's all kinds of companies out there that make really good wool socks. And you're going to pay $30 a pair for socks. You'll still have that $30 a pair of socks when that pair of cotton Fruit of the Looms are long since in the trash can. So get the people you love a good pair of socks. And you can get them, they're lightweight for the summertime. People think wool, we only wear wool the wintertime when it's cold. Now you can get lightweight ones. They keep your feet dry and keep you from getting foot fungus. And wool socks are where it's at. So getting some good socks, and that's an inexpensive, relatively gift. Most people you're going to get a gift for somebody you don't want to spend a ton on. $30. Inflation sucks. Years ago it was like, we'll spend $10 on a gift for that person now, and then it was 20, and now it's I can't get anything for less than $30. Get yourself, get somebody you care about a pair of wool socks. Nothing says I love you like a warm feet. Okay. Another thing that we can add to this list of great prepper Christmas gift, guys, knife. Okay. Everybody in the prepping world has probably more knives at this point than they know what to do with. They got, bunch of Swedish Moras. They got, some people are going, hey, I need another knife. Like, I need, some virus I can't wash off or something. What you need, but getting somebody a knife as a present, you're getting them something of value. You're getting them something good. And you can spend anything you can get a decent Swedish Mora for $20-$25. If you want a folder, you can get a little Opinel or something like that. Great knives. Or you can get somebody, if you got somebody in the family that you want to spend, a little more on, get them something really special. You get a good bushcraft knife in the $100 to $200 range. Fixed blade knives, I've carried folders for most of my life. I started carrying a fixed blade full time not too long ago. I got to say, I don't think I'm going back to not carrying a fixed blade. It's not a big one, 2-3 inches, but just the comfort of using a knife with a real handle and not a folder for most tasks is nice. So, get somebody a good bushcraft knife. You don't have to get them, some Rambo ridiculous knife, but an Essie or, there's so many options out there. What's the pterosaur that's made by, I think it's Condor. There's all kinds of little forges out there, little small batch shops that do handmade stuff, make beautiful bushcraft knives. So getting somebody a knife is a great and long-lasting gift. Now, to wrap this up, as we talk about gifts, I've mentioned a couple things. Maybe it's something you want to give somebody that's not a hardcore prepper. Maybe it's something you want to give your kids, and you're not sure what to get them. You want to get them something they'll keep. You don't want it to end up in the trash. 2 weeks after Christmas. Precious metals. Precious metals are a great gift. Gold really, is too expensive for most of us. Maybe if you're Bill Gates or Forrest Garvin or somebody like that, you can afford to give your kids an ounce of gold. For most of us, an ounce of silver, used to be $25-$30, closer to $50 now. But an ounce of silver, and your kids, I've got a couple of 1 ounce silver coins that were given to me when I was like 7 or 8 years old. Still got them. It's not something, even when you're not a prepper, that you're going to get rid of. It's a holder of value. It's a great gift. And a lot of them are beautiful. You get, go check out the silver place and look at rounds. There's Canadian maple leafs. There's Philharmonics. There's all these coins that are just absolutely beautiful. And some, special edition coins. There's just all kinds of stuff. And they make really cool gifts. They've got value. They're a retainer, a keeper of value. So never anything wrong with giving somebody the gift of some precious metal. So with that, I'm going to wrap up our list of prepper gifts for 2025. I mean, I could go on here all night with great prepper gifts that everybody needs to consider for getting their prepper friends. But I think we've covered enough good gift ideas for those of you who are out there going, man, what am I going to get my husband? What am I going to get my kids? What am I going to get my, whatever that I need to get a gift for? Another thing on that front, I'll throw in last, is leather stuff, guys. Not mass-produced leather stuff, but like real high-quality handmade leather bags, leather belt pouches, leather holsters, stuff like that that's going to last somebody for a lifetime. And boots on that front, a good set of boots. Nothing says, I love you and I want you to survive the apocalypse in comfort like a serious set of boots. And I think Selco, I may be wrong on this, but I feel like it was Selco that said, he had a pair of Danner boots that got him through the collapse, and that he was thankful. He was so thankful that he had a quality pair of boots that lasted till he was able to get out of there. Getting somebody a good pair of boots, pair of Danners, pair of Carolinas. You really want to go nice, a set of whites, a set of Westcos, boots that are like made out of leather and put together solid and that are going to last a decade or decades. Good boots, good shoes, another good gift. Yeah, I know it's a little old. Old people ask for that, but good pair of shoes. Good pair of shoes is a great thing to get your significant other. So with all that, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if this will make it out before Thanksgiving or after. If it's after, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great Christmas, great holiday season. Be safe. This is a weird time and lots of weird stuff going on. And the holidays are always kind of a weird time anyway. So be safe out there with everybody traveling, everything that's going on. Have a blessed week. And we will catch you on the next episode of Grid Down Comms Up.
Thanks for listening to the Prepping Academy podcast. Preppers Unite at www.preppingacademy.com.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.